Hello. Welcome, everyone. It is, in fact, Friday. It's Friday of the year 2025. That's right, the only Friday of 2025. We're here with some wooloop. Classic game that everyone loves, wooloop. It's a game where you loop some wool. And I'm here. I will be playing this game. This game known as wooloop. Right here, right now. Literally, right now. Anyway, welcome. Welcome Stream Elements, welcome Koku, welcome the Antonio DXD, welcome Tag Barrel. Antonio says you got a tattoo of small Gura. That's crazy. I hope you enjoy it. I can't imagine why people want my art on their body as a tattoo, but you know, you do you. that's perfectly fine. Welcome Stanley, welcome Hamflow. Welcome Defins, Ranmu, Zoe, and Hemp, and that's everyone. Alright, so this is today's art. You might be like, why is this just a default Wolfie? He never draws just a regular Wolfie. There's always like a Wolfie doing something, always some kind of weird creature. Well, actually, I drew this before 2025 even. I was like, when I was deciding my first stream week of 2025, I was like, I don't know what I'm streaming. So what if I just draw like a default regular Wolfie? And then if I don't know what I'm doing, I'll just use this one time. And that was today. I simply did not know what I was going to play today. And so I didn't even draw something. I just used this one. So now it's here. Anyway, as you may notice, the title of the stream is also keyword optimized for discoverability. It says gaming VTuber streaming enjoyable fun for viewers, weekend, Friday, chill, royalty-free music for content creator. That's right, we are in fact listening to royalty-free music for content creators such as myself. Anyway, this is gonna go here. Welcome Riot and Bareback as well. Wolfie Prime, the title said gambling VTuber. It says gaming. We are literally gaming, alright? You can't imagine gambling. Imagine gambling. Alright, we gotta decide what to do. Which one of the... Ooh, what the video games? I literally have video games in my title. Flags, Magic, Advent... Skystead, Red. We gotta do gaming. Which one of these? Gaming chair, headset, controller, RGB, health bar, pilot game, laser gun, game library, 80s rival. What the? Platformers, indie games. We gotta do indie games. This seems huge. What the heck is this? I can't even imagine what this is. There's a heart. And that's pretty much all I can make out. I don't know what this is. I guess we'll find out. Did I also welcome Props Not Jack? I don't think I did. I read your message and I did not even welcome you. Unless I did. In which case I don't remember. But if I didn't, then welcome. Yeah, indies. Got him. Just watch a gambling fails compilation. I would never gamble. Dropped my phone a few minutes ago and I'm out of spare screen protector. We gotta buy one immediately. Imagine using your phone without a screen protector. That's like... doesn't even make sense. There's a lot of bad protectors there. Yeah, it's like I didn't realize how bad some screen protectors would be until I got one recently. And by recently I mean the last time I got an Android phone for free. You know the thing where like you buy it and then they'll reimburse you credits over 2 years? The Pixel, what is it? The Pixel 7? I bought a screen protector for that one. And I applied it and it just felt really bad. It did not feel good. Did I play Holocure with the new updates? You mean the one from a few months ago? Yes, I did play that one. I did finish the hard stage and the latest stage. I used a case but never needed a screen protector. Stop taking on your phone screen with your car keys. I mean, it's good to have a screen protector, because, like, it's better to have one than not, right? In a lot of cases. Maybe, I don't know. Because I feel like a lot of people, they drop their phone, and then since they don't have a screen protector, even if they do have a phone case, it just cracks, and then they're like, ah, I wish I had extra stuff. But then they didn't, and then they regret it. Better safe than sorry. See, I don't use a protector with one of my phones at the moment. Kinda sucks that I don't. Well, you know, it is good to use. That's what I think. Gorilla Glass is strong. Yeah, but then what if it breaks? Okay, what if at some point it's not strong? And then what? What if you're on the beach and then you drop your phone in the sand for some reason? And then it scratches up the entire screen and then it's totally ruined? And then you're like, man, if only I had a screen protector to put on this. Yeah, scratches, right? Scratches. And also, I don't know, like oils or whatever, spills. A lot of stuff, a lot of things to consider. Yeah, random scratches. It's not all about cracked screens. There's other stuff. There's many considerations you have to make. Anyway, that's a thing, right? Phone screens. I feel like I've never had to replace a screen protector. Like, besides when you first apply it and you notice there's like a bunch of bubbles that aren't working well. And then you remove it and you add another one. But like after the initial setup, I don't think I've ever had to like remove a screen protector. The screen protector lives as long as the phone does, honestly. Me when I'm phone gaming and my fingernails bang the screen. What is this guy even doing? Rhythm gaming? This guy's rhythm gaming. Just smashing his screen. It's crazy. The last phone I broke, I had the screen crack because it dropped onto the point end of the stairs of an escalator. Screen protector did nothing. Well, yeah, sometimes, I feel like there's sometimes when you drop a device in like a very specific like setup and it's like the perfect position to totally ruin it. I remember a long time ago, I had, back when MP3 players were a thing, and they were called portable media players, PMPs. You probably do even remember this. There was a Korean brand of portable media players called Cowon, C-O-W-O-N. It probably still exists. They probably do like high-end stuff. But I had one called the Cowon A2 or something, and it worked really well. But then one time I dropped it in such a way that it landed right on the what's that thing called? The the headphone jack. And then like it bent the headphone jack like in such a way that you had to angle the headphone jack in a certain way to get the audio, otherwise it would only play from one of the left or right sides. And it's been like that the whole time. And before that it was working totally fine and I could never fix it. And then I did end up having to buy a new MP3 player. But like it fell in such a perfect way. Like if it literally fell like a millimeter in a different direction, it would not have caused that damage. PMP, portable media player. As you all know, the M is media. That's right, everyone, media. Everyone is watching media. You may be watching the news, that's media. You may be watching this stream. That is, in fact, also a form of media. You may be using social media. That is another form of media. It's all around us. So much. There's also Ethernet. That's a media, possibly. Wires, that's a media. A lot of things to think about in this world. Out here living in society. Anyway, it is Friday though. I hope everyone had a good week. I hope your week was fun and exciting. Or perhaps not even fun. Perhaps just relaxing. That you enjoyed your week in some way. 10 years from now, you look back on this week and you go, that sure was a week that I certainly enjoyed. I had fun once it was awful. I feel like you said, was it you? I feel like there's someone who always says that. Every time they show up in this chat. Welcome Netherdawn, the sleep schedule's rotating. I only slept 5 hours yesterday. It sucked. It was actually really bad. It's only you. What's your catchphrase? Had fun once. Imagine having fun. Are you having fun right now? Watching this stream or other streams. Watching Choco-Jacks play Mahjong. I watched some of that. And I thought it was a fun experience. No? You're engaged. You're not having fun. You're engaged. Yo, congrats on the engagement, though. Congrats on being engaged. When is the wedding? When was the proposal? How was that like? I'm just kidding, because I interpreted your word engaged as meaning the marriage form of engaged. But there's many different meanings of engaged. You could be social media engagement. You could be other types of engagement. I understood. Well, I assume you understood the joke. I just this is the thing that I do. I just explain things unnecessarily. It's just how this is, just because other people might not, okay? Other people are not this smart. They might be like, Wolfie, what are you talking about? I don't understand. Please explain. It makes sense that you understand, but other people, you can't overestimate them. You have to underestimate them. Well, have we ever seen a string this thin in this game? I feel like they're never this thin. They have to like increase the size. Thank you for unnecessarily explaining the joke into the red. You're welcome. That's what I do. And that's why people stick around. Because, you know, sometimes people, they're too afraid to ask, right? You ever like in a meeting or something and someone's talking about something and you're just like, I don't really understand what they're talking about, but everyone else seems to. So I'm like afraid to ask a question because, you know, everyone just knows. I can't be the one who doesn't know. But then like one of the people is like, I'm gonna explain this. I'm sure you all know this, but I'm gonna explain it anyway. And then people that are watching, they're like, oh, thank God. I didn't understand until now. And you need more people like that. They need to explain very obvious things so that no one is left out. That's just how it is. You can't just assume that people have the same knowledge and experiences that you do. That's what causes bias in society. Not everyone has the same lived experiences. Some people have lived different lives. Everyone has lived different lives. What if you side estimate? I don't know. I don't even know what that means. Unnecessarily explaining a joke is another form of comedy. There's a lot of forms of comedy. What's everyone's favorite type of comedy? I'm sure everyone has one, right? Some people, they like, you know, like fart jokes. Some people enjoy dry humor. Some people enjoy like, I don't know. What are the types of humor? Puns. Some people enjoy puns. Wordplay. People out there enjoying like Hawk-Tuah. What genre of comedy is Hawk-Tuah? Crude humor? I guess it would be crude humor. There's a lot of them. Deadpan. I like deadpan humor. I think I appreciate deadpan humor. It's like, you know, they're telling the joke and you're like, that was so funny. Why did they say it in such a way that implied that they didn't think it was funny? And then I was like, you know, that's how comedy works. Sometimes you have to under-exaggerate. Over-exaggerate. You don't even exaggerate. You just don't even rant. I can't even talk. I can't even say words. And then they say the thing and they're like, no one even notice that they said such a funny joke? Did anyone hear that? And then no one even reacts and you're like, did no one else think that was funny? I thought that was really funny. You look around and no one is laughing. But I appreciate it. Getting pulled into random meetings sucks. Hey RB, come hop into this call. And I'm a deer in the headlights having no idea what they're talking about. Right? You need people to explain. It's just a necessity in society. You can't be assuming things. Hamful loves puns. He sure does. Hamful, you're telling me the ham is flowed? You're telling me this ham is flowing? What about live pan? No, it's always about deadpan. There's no such thing as live pan comedy. It's not even real. Well, you are deadpan humor. Am I? Is this even real? I feel like deadpan humor is very common in like British comedy, right? That's the impression that I get. A lot of times the British people, they're just out here telling jokes and then being so deadpan about it. Right? It is, right? Exactly. And then like, I don't know, what like Japanese comedy is like manzai comedy or whatever. Where you have the guy telling the joke and then the other guy is just like, I don't understand. I don't even understand this. Absurd. No, there's different types. You got manzai comedy. They got the comedy where they're basically reciting the same jokes. Whatever Joshiraku was, that was the thing. What was the name of that comedy type that Joshiraku was? It's kind of like formal stage play type comedy. You go up there, you rehearse well-known jokes, and then it's more about the way you told the joke rather than the actual punchline itself. That's the art of it. Yeah, Rakugo, that's what it was. What about talking about how much you dislike your wife humor? That is American humor. From back in the day, in the 50s, maybe even the 70s, I don't know. Rodney Dangerfield. That was his style of comedy. You know, Rakugo. The impression that I get is I've never had to knock on wood. I'm glad I haven't yet. Is that a joke? I don't understand that. Why is knocking on wood even a thing? Who is out there knocking on anything? Doors. Doors are made of wood sometimes. So what does that mean? Does that even mean anything? I've heard of that. Yeah, Rakugo. It's the one where they like sit down in a stage. They're like the only person on stage. I guess that's common in comedy, stand-up comedy. But they're not standing up, they're sitting down. There's a lyric sent over Wolfie's head. Is that? I don't understand, okay? Lyrics, that's not references. Oh, that's another form of comedy. Just referring to things. A lot of comedy is just like, hey, what about this thing? And then that's the entire joke. It's like, oh, I know that thing. Oh, I know that. That's why it's funny. Because I know, yeah, Family Guy. That's most of Family Guy humor. Hey, Lois, that reminds me of the time that's not a Peter Griffin impression. Hey, Lois, that reminds me of the time that I went to, when I went to the store, and then the Bazinga guy was there, and then they cut to the scene where Bazinga guy was there, and he says, Bazinga, and then they go, oh, there you go. That's a reference. Oh my god. Bazinga? I know what that is. And that's, everyone laughs because they understand. That is a reference to 80s ska core band, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, from their 1997 hit, The Impression That I Got. Well, I didn't understand. And that's the thing with comedy, is that sometimes you don't understand. I don't understand. But there's always someone out there who will understand. They'll be like, you know, many people, this was an obscure reference, but I understood. And I think the more obscure something is, the more it's appreciated by the people who do understand it. Nothing goes over my head, my reflexes are too fast, I would catch it. Yeah, I would simply catch it. I would simply understand all forms of comedy. I would simply just laugh at everything. And I think that's the power of comedy. Hey Lois, you remember the time I was fishing with Wolfie? What, Wolfie? From the hit YouTube channel Wolfie Clips? Wow. And then I show up and I'm like, it's me, Wolfie, and they go, oh my god, that's him. Everyone, it's him. And then they clap. Everyone claps. It's the best, the highly rated episode of all time. It doesn't even insist upon itself. So you understood that reference. You're like, oh, he insists upon itself. I know what he's talking about. The Family Guy. It insists upon, oh my god. That's why we watch his streams, because he always does these jokes like this. And then people ask what Pot of Greed does. Yeah. So, hey Lois, that reminds you of the time that I drew Pot of Greed. And then it cuts to Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's like, Pot of Greed allows me to draw cards. And then you draw the cards. And then it's good. And then everything is perfectly fine. Yeah, librarian, pull up that reference. Costco guys, am I right guys? Costco guys? Oh man. 5 big booms. Boom, boom, and then they do it 5 times. And then you go, wow. And then the Rizzler is there. And then the Rizzler's like... Does Rizzler have a catchphrase? He just does the face, right? Like AJ and Big Justice, they have the booms. They have the double chunk chocolate cookie. What does the Rizzler have? He just has Riz. What's even the point? Pot of Greed allows me to take 2 cards from the top of my deck and add them to my hand. Greed is good. Greed. What has greed done for any of us? What if it was green? What if it... Oh, wait a second. It's green... Wait, green and greed? How can it could be Pot of Green instead of greed? What the... Have you thought about this? How green is basically greed? And green is the color of money? And green is like when you're like jealous, and that could be because someone is rich. Welcome DX Nomad. Pot is already green. Yeah, I was like, what if it's green? Wait, it is. It's already green. They already thought about this. You know, there's Jar of Greed as well. I can't even read. Jar of Greed as well. It only draws 1 card. It's not even as greedy. It's like slightly greedy, but not enough. Pot of Green, that's what's in Nimi's pipe. Oh, I know that reference. Nimi Nightmare. Wow. I remember who that is. I remember someone left a comment in Northern Lions chat, and they did not mention Nimi Nightmare, but like I think they were talking about Mario Party and like how this mini game is nightmarish. And I was like, well, I misread Minnie as Nimi, and I was like, what the? I know who that is. And they said this mini nightmare or something. I was like, oh, that's not even what they said, but that's how I read it. Well, Reddit, I understand that reference. That's Reddit. That's the website where people give upvotes. Wow. A divine level shower thinker. Imagine even thinking. Anyone thinking right now? What is the last thing you significantly thought about? Our role in society, perhaps. Can you draw a small Nimi, or is she too chibi cute already? I do not intend on drawing one. I don't even really draw. I mean, I do draw. I feel like I just draw myself nowadays. Is this Celeste? This is like a video game related thing. Is this the Celeste logo? or like some other. Hold on. What is this Celeste logo? No, it's not. Never mind. I was like, it's a mountain. That's literally Celeste. What is there a game that's like this? What is this? What is this? This puzzle is about indie games. But like, what is this? It's a Switch. It doesn't even have the detachable controllers though. Zoe said, speaking of comedy that isn't beaten to death, I watch a Bridge Yu-Gi-Oh thing. It's Joey and the bug guy dueling, but it's modern Yu-Gi-Oh, and one was super hilarious because the joke's built on what modern Yu-Gi-Oh really is. For example, scariest card in the modern game is a funny bug discard itself from the hand rather than people. Or something many. What does that mean? What does that mean? What is he talking about? I don't understand. See, I don't understand Yu-Gi-Oh, so I didn't understand your reference. And that's why comedy is subjective. Is that there is a subset of people that would have understood and they would have thought it was so funny. But because I lack the shared experiences, it's not the same. It doesn't hit the same. Oh yeah, it could be a Switch Lite, that is true. More like a light switch, am I right guys? Like... like, imagine you were like, I want a Switch Lite for Christmas, and then your parent was like, Switch Lite, I'll write that down, but they wrote it down as light switch, and then they buy you a light switch, and you're like, this isn't even what I wanted. This is not even the same thing, and they go, but you said a light switch, but it wasn't. It simply wasn't, and you cannot argue with that. This looks like a map in Smash. Zelda's temple or that one ice climber stage. No, I feel like it looks like, I don't know, it just looks... It looks like a logo of something. Am I practicing a set? No. It's just what I do. It's just what my streams are like. Stand-up comedy. Anyone's standing up for what's right. I had a coworker who was actually into stand-up comedy, as in like he did stand-up comedy. At the previous company I worked for, the one that I was laid off from, I talked about this. There was a guy who was like, "Oh, this weekend I'm doing my stand-up comedy bit." And we're like, "What? I didn't know you did that." It's like, "Yep, I'm doing it." And then he did it. And then, I mean, I didn't watch it. I don't know if it's recorded or something, but he did it. And he thought it went well. I can't confirm whether it went well, but I'm sure that it probably did. I feel like that's kind of rare nowadays. To have a coworker who's into like doing stand-up comedy. Like, do you know anyone who does stand-up comedy? I should have gone to see him perform. No, it was in Europe. He's European. He was a contractor from like, I don't even remember where in Europe, but somewhere in Europe. Like, I'm not willing to go all the way to Europe to watch my coworkers stand-up bit. I don't know. Has anyone been to like a stand-up bar slash show before? Like, I've only ever watched them on like on TV or like on YouTube or like various clips that people posted. I've never actually like been to one. Like, what is that like? Is the energy the same? Had a coworker who was also a professional musician and would like work during the day and then perform at clubs at night. I thought that was pretty crazy. It does sound quite interesting. Like, what kind of musician? Is he like a rock musician or like a classical musician or like a singer? A lot of different types. Actually, one of my coworkers, he plays like... He's on Spotify. I mean, he doesn't have many like listens on Spotify, but he is on Spotify. And I'm like, what the? You're on Spotify? That's crazy. He plays instruments. He plays the piano. I mean, I didn't listen to his songs, but he's on there. My brother went to one and said it was great. The stand-up comedy, what was the? I guess you can't answer. It wasn't you. You didn't go to it. I was like, was it funny? What did they talk about? Weirdly enough, he was on Jeopardy. Wait, I also know coworkers who went on Jeopardy. There's like one person that I worked with many years ago, and then like, you know, you keep up with your coworkers on LinkedIn sometimes, and then like I'm checking it and it's like, hey, I was on Jeopardy. And I was like, what the? This guy, he was pretty smart though. I was not surprised. I was like, that makes sense. He did seem to have a lot of knowledge of things. But he was on there. I didn't watch the episode, but he was there. I'm sure he had a good time. Imagine being on Jeopardy. Like, I don't have the knowledge for that. Just like memorizing a bunch of facts. A lot of obscure information just out there. Imagine jeopardizing anything. What does that even mean? What do you hope to accomplish with that? Because I don't understand. Knowledge like on the Hollywood Hills. I love knowledge. See, this is where you understand the reference, and then you go, what the? That's such an old reference? Wow. Wolfie referencing things from... How long ago was that video? Like 10 years ago? Out here in the Hollywood Hills. I love knowledge. I love knowledge. That guy, that's an old meme. You ever think about old memes? It's such an old... Right is so old. You're like, streamer, you are so old. Just clip that and then like show that to people that you think are old. Streamer, you are so old. I can't believe. Oh my god, you made such a reference. It was so old. None of us understood it. It was from like the 90s. This guy is so old. This guy was born before 9/11. Oh my god. What is he, ancient? I can't believe he's so old. That is the criteria nowadays. People do be born after 9/11. And then they go, wow, you were alive when that happened? That's crazy. It wasn't even existing yet. And then you remember. You think back to the days when you were not as old. You were actually young. But now, we're old. Not me though, I would never be old. People they do in fact be born. Some people are born as dragons. Dragonborn. Skyrim reference. Oh my god, Skyrim is so old. Dude. Remember Skyrim? The game that came out and then it came out again and then like 20 more times. Skyrim is 13 years old, and also 11 years old, and also 10 years old, and also 3 years old. They probably released Skyrim 3 years ago on some console. 14 this year? Dang. I remember I played that when it came out. And I didn't realize they did like, what, like a remaster or something? They released some version that was not the original one. And then like I checked my Steam library and I'm like, wait, why don't I have Skyrim? I thought I have Skyrim. I definitely played this when it came out. And then like I found out the original Skyrim is now like the Legacy Edition or something, and then there's like another edition that's like the real edition that people play. Like, I didn't know about this. Skyrim. It was fun though. When that game came out, I did play it quite a bit. It's 11/11/11. I like when release dates are easy to remember. It's like how the Dreamcast was released on September 9th, 1999. It's like 9/9/1999. And friends over on 11/11/11/11. We played Skyrim each on our own PC. Yo, LAN parties? Wow, that was great. I've never been to a LAN party. I've been to internet cafes though. those things don't exist that much nowadays. Go into an internet cafe playing like CSGO or whatever. Not even CSGO, whatever the original one. Just Counter-Strike. Source or whatever. Skyrim was old enough you probably bought it in an actual store. No, it was on Steam when I got it. I remember buying physical games. I mean, I guess people still do that. But like, I don't do it. I've been to LAN parties at university, but that's it. I've never even been to one. I don't even know what it's like. Playing StarCraft in a LAN. I remember going to the library, signing up for 1 hour computer time, playing online games. I did that as well. I talked about that. There was a website called bonus.com, and they would have games you could play on it. They had this one game that was like a tank game. It's kind of like a massively multiplayer tank game. You choose like one of a few colors you can move around. And then I would go to the library. I'd be like, we get half an hour to play this tank game. And then I went on it and I didn't understand how to do it. And then the group of kids that were playing before me, they saw me trying to play it. And they were like, oh, we can help you. And then they basically just played for the entire half hour while I watched. Classic. And then I never got that time back. That was fun. Now I have a memory to talk about. That's always the bright side of things. If anything bad ever happens, you can be like, I can turn this into content. Assuming you're a streamer. If you're not a streamer or like content creator, and it's not as well, no, you can still tell, you can talk about it at like conversations. But still share your experiences with your peers. I did a LAN party in the basement of my college dorm once, so many network cables. I could imagine it being annoying. And you have like a billion computers out there. There's like a lot of things to consider. Wolf in school, oh wow, I can talk about this when I'm a streamer in 10 to 20 years. Exactly. That's how it is. I remember when I was out there not even creating content. No, actually, this is what surprised me, is that when I did my anniversary stream and Duck left a message that was like celebrating 18 years of Wolf content online, and then I looked at it and I was like, no, there's no way. And then it was, but that's not even the thing. It's 18 years of Wolf related content, but I've been making content online since I was like 13, so it's actually been more than 18 years. Then I was like, what the heck, man? To think that I was online making webcomics at the young age of 13, even like maybe even when I was 12. And I thought nothing of it. Yeah, literal decades. Well, it wasn't, see, the reason why it wasn't Wolf content, it was because I didn't use the name Wolfas until like 18 years ago. Before that, it was like Kirby M or like Kirby Mario. And that was not Wolf content. That was its own thing. But yeah, think back on it. A lot of stuff. Made a lot of stuff in like 20 years. Most people don't even know how it began. It's so easy to arrive at big year numbers somehow. Just be a child and deciding to do anything on the net. Suddenly you wake up, you have your 13-year streaming anniversary. It could be you. It could literally be you. I mean, there's people out there and they're like, you know, they're streaming. They're making YouTube videos. And then 10 years later they go, oh yeah, remember when I did this? It didn't feel like that long ago, but actually it was. It was actually like 10 years ago. And now we're all old. There's like this weird thing. It's like when I was a kid, I feel like everyone that I interacted with was older than me. Right? Because I was 13, and I feel like the forums that I used, a lot of people were like 16 or like 17 or whatever. Some people were even in their 20s. But then like nowadays, when I'm online, I feel like so many people that I see online, they're like early 20s. It's like, where are all the people that are my age, right? Where's all the 30 plus people? What happened? Are they? I guess maybe they're out there living their life, like not on the internet. You know, maybe some of them, like, you know, they have, I don't know, they're married or like have kids or whatever. Maybe that's why there's not as many of them. But like, why is that? What is the deal? Yeah, they had kids. They have jobs. They don't have time to be online and play games anymore. It's scary. That's actually so scary. Also, yes, this appears to be a heart. All the 30 pluses are watching NL and not chatting. They're at their 9-to-5 office job, programming, writing 3 lines of code, taking a break. It's me. Literally me. Anyway, I think it's weird that people like me who are old are not around as much. They should be online like me. Why can't they be like me on the internet? I don't know. I guess maybe also like, maybe it's specific to VTubing. It's like I feel like a lot of VTubers are just like women in their early to mid 20s. Whereas I'm sure if I expanded my search, as in like the people I'm referring to here, more broadly to like just regular streamers, I'd be like, okay, there's like, you know, face cam streamers are just more likely to be like late 20s maybe. Random, you mean Randon? Random? I knew it. I knew what you meant before you even corrected yourself. Welcome, Hoppy Hollow. Randon raided a few days ago. Remember that? There's plenty of 30-year-old. Plenty? I wouldn't say plenty. Comparatively, I would say. Can you name all the 30-plus-year-old VTubers that you know off the top of your head? Because like I feel like compared to the ones that aren't 30, Choco's 29. No, I think she hit 30 like this year. I guess last year, right? Because now it's 2025. You can probably name about 4. Name them now. Name all of them right now, so that I can follow more old people. They're not old, Wolfie. You can't call them old. Older, relative to others. The rest are terminally MIA or just noise. What does that mean? What do you mean by that? By noise. Obama's husband, but he's not a VTuber, as far as I know. What if he was? It could be. I don't know the age of many. That is also true. Like, not everyone tells you what their age is. There could be people out there that are 30 plus, but they don't reveal that they are because of age discrimination or whatever. You know, VTubers that put on for background noise, they're required. Well, the fact that you said just noise implies that they're lesser. I know you didn't imply that, but the phrasing that they're just noise is questionable. I don't know. Yeah, Mint is over 30. I'm over 30. I think Henamimi's over 30. Choco is over 30. I think Ember is 30. Got Randon. Matara Khan is over 30. Who else? Who else is there? This could be a challenge, you know, the name 100 VTubers that are over 30 challenge. Is that even possible? Surely it's possible. There's some that are up there, not actual mama mad levels of mic spam. What? I don't even know what that means. Is Nano older than 30? Is Nano even a VTuber? What, Nano Dan? No, Nano Dan's like mid 20s. You thought he was over 30? He's not. He's talked about this. He's like, why do people think I'm over 30? I'm literally like 25 or 26. You know, Nano Laser. No, that's not a streamer. Don't refer to Nano Laser as Nano. He doesn't like that. Thought it was like 26 to 29. Yeah, 26. I said 26, right? I think he's 26. He's younger than Hamflow. True. One day Hamflow's gonna be 30. And then we'll be like, remember when Hamflow was not 30? I remember. But now he's 30. Lily, oh yeah, she's also 30. She's like divorced as well. Who else is over 30? Can there be like a master list? There's Anguiz. I mean, I guess he does have a VTuber. I would say like he technically counts, but like also technically doesn't. I don't know. Not me. Are you even a VTuber? Tubing out there. Tubers. Is Uo Slab over 30? Isn't he like... He's like late 20s, right? I think. You're not VR person. You wouldn't know until she finds you. What? Vox is there. Oh, Vox from Niji Sanji. Is he over 30? I thought he was also kind of young. I think he is. Uo Slab, you think Uo Slab is over 30? Matara, yeah, I mentioned Matara. Oh, there's some Marine, the famous Marine Pololive is over 30. Welcome Mint, we're naming, yeah, I know, yeah. She's also over 30. There's some people, what are people you know that are over 30? Because there needs to be more of us, okay? All the VTubers are just like in their early to mid 20s. They don't even understand what it's like. You mentioned getting wasted during New Year's Eve of 2000 by Matt. Well, you can do underage drinking. Not that I would recommend it, but like, you know, people can people can do it. That is a thing. People could say that they were getting wasted at a certain time in their life, but they weren't technically allowed to or whatever. Vivi's over. Oh, yeah, Vividly Vivi. I am aware of her existence. Welcome, Cat Pots. Sylphren from Novice Community should be over 30, I think. I see. See, the list is growing. The list is out there. It's legitimately not bad. My 30s have been 100 times more fun than my 20s. I think it's because you learn to care less in a positive. I think so as well. You're like, oh, I'm turning, you know, I'm like relatively old compared to some other people that I know. So, you know, it's fine. It doesn't matter as much. Because when you're in your 20s, you're like, oh god, what am I gonna do with my life? I just like graduated college and now I have to like do other stuff. And then you're in your 30s and you're like, whatever, it's fine. It doesn't even matter. And there's this one obscure streamer who's over 30. His name is Wolfie. What the heck is that? Oh, that's the guy who made those clips. That's the guy who with the search engine keyword optimization baby shoes never worn video. I love that guy. Oh my god, you gotta watch this. Guys, if you never watched this guy, you have to check out his video. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. You should watch it. Okay, so that I get views. It's just how it is. So true, right? So true. Say true, I feel like I'm a lot more put together now than when I was younger, right? People in their 20s, they don't even know. They're like, oh no, I'm gonna turn 30, I'm gonna be so old. And then they turn 30 and it's like, this is fine, honestly. It's actually perfectly acceptable. He doesn't even know. Hold on, I missed some messages. Let me scroll up. Oh, now I'm zooming in. Get a reminder that you are your own human. You can do whatever you want. Right, exactly. The smarter you are in an ever-changing world, the more that mood sticks, though, just not in your 20s. Sorry, not just your 20s. Yeah, but it's more likely when you're over 30. I think. Possible. Zoli said, I will grad college and go to work for a year or two, and then I will instantly hit my 30s. And then you'll be like, I understand so much now. Right? Mint said, swap careers from academia. So freaking streaming in my 30s. No such thing as like too late to being too old to change stuff. Right. I remember there was this one comic that I saw posted on Twitter. And it was like, it was of some lady talking to a child, and it's like, oh, when I grow up, I want to be an artist. What do you want to be when you grow up? And then she was like, grow up. I'm like 25. And she's like, you can still grow. And then she just had like an existential crisis. It's like, so true, actually, so true. The kids understand this. And then we're in our 20s and we're like, I don't understand this. That's how it is. The worst thing about my 30s is having to be specific about how I lie down for bed. It's a win. Yeah, having back pain. Classic. Being able to not being able to walk upstairs as easily. That's a thing sometimes. Also, welcome Gex. Yeah, your bones start disintegrating. Your muscles are not as strong. Are you on your 30s? I do have the tag on the stream that says hag. So yes, I've been in my 30s for multiple years now. Welcome Happy Toaster as well. You're supposed to be put together in your 30s? No. I mean, like, physically, I guess. Your atoms are in fact put together, like connected physically, so like, I guess. If you mean like in a literal sense, sure. Possibly. But see, it's funny when you're like middle-aged and senior citizens referred to as a young person. No, we are young though. People in their 30s are young. Talk to someone who's in their like 50s and they're like, you think you're old? Well, look at me. I'm old. And then they're like 50, and then like some person who's in their 70s is like, you think you're old? Look at me. I'm in my 70s. And then someone's like, oh, you think you're old? I'm 110. And you're like, wow, this guy is old. How is he so old? The concept of sleep being a struggle is a sinister adult thing. You gotta sleep, okay? People, they don't value their sleep. They just party all night and then they regret it the next morning. You're doing a disservice to yourself by not sleeping well. Possibly, maybe. See, I honestly have so many regrets about my 20s, but the fact that I will have regrets now means my 30s will be exciting, right? You can change what you don't like. You could be like, okay, this is what I didn't like about my 20s. Surely it'll get better. Surely. Definitely gonna get better in my 30s. And then like it doesn't get better and you're like, well, definitely in my 40s, right? No, this is too pessimistic. Of course it's gonna get better in your 30s. It's up to you to do this. You can choose to improve yourself. To improve your situation. Also, welcome Altchkar. Let me scroll down in the chat. Defin says, I'm currently in way better shape than in my early 20s, 29 at the moment, so let's go. Right? That's also a thing. You can change. You can change yourself however you want. Hag means you have a big cauldron brewing a purple substance, and you stir it with a big wooden stick. A purple substance? I always thought the substance would be green. When I think of like a witch brewing a potion in a cauldron or whatever, it's always green to me. Do you think of purple? I guess sometimes. I don't know. Can you get your hag equipment at your 30th birthday per mail, or do I have to get it myself? You make it yourself. Make whatever you want. Yourself, never got my adult supervision either. Adult supervision? Okay, see, this is like a joke. You know, wasn't there like an episode of The Fairly Odd Parents or something where he wished, he was wishing for superpowers or whatever, and then his final wish was like, I wish for supervision, and then like his parents showed up. It's like, you know, super, like adult supervision. And they thought he meant like, you know, super, like your visions, like laser vision or whatever. Adult supervision. That was the punchline, and I thought it was quite funny. I don't think I ever watched the episode. I just heard someone describe it, and I was like, that makes sense. It's a play on words. You think one thing, but it's actually a different thing. Wolfie's been breeding the wind-colored options the whole time. What? What does that mean? The wind-colored options? What does that mean? What is this even? I mean, most regrets are tied to me not being adventurous enough, being scared of spending money, not daring to do interesting things, push myself to do cool stuff online, stuff like that. Since I want to grow beyond these mindsets and I'm aware of them, I could probably work around them now. Exactly. You could do it. You could do it now. You don't have to wait. Imagine waiting. You could literally do it right now. You could, right now, literally. Improve yourself now! I'm gonna drink water, because it is 6:01 p.m. And by improve yourself, I mean whatever. I don't know. Alright, I've hydrated. Oh shoot, I accidentally... Okay, I got to right click. Okay, now I can scroll up, okay? I'm scrolling up. It sounds like the kind of diabolical crypto language I cram into my English like some kind of cartoon supervillain. Supervision? Adult supervision. Okay, also, uni basically deadlocks my mind completely. I feel like doing a 9 to 5 where I can just ignore job outside of job will be so much easier. That is true. I feel like school kind of sucked because like you're done with school for the day, and then like you have to go home. You still have to like do projects and like essays and stuff like that. With work, at least most of the time, once you're done with the workday, unless you're like on call or whatever, it's like you don't need to think about work until the next day. That's nice. You can focus on doing whatever you want. No homework, no teachers telling you your essay is due. You can live your own life however you want. Not however you want. Obviously there's rules, right? There's laws we have to abide by. I mean, you don't have to abide by them, but if you want to be a functioning member of society, you probably should. But you don't have to. You could do whatever you want. Let me scroll up again. I missed so many comments. People are saying many things. I have to wait since it scrolled off the screen. Since thesis deadline is 6th of Feb. I need to write. This guy's writing his thesis. I don't even know. I've never even written one. You're done with school and then you play League of Legends until 10 p.m. I hope not. I hope you're doing something better with your time than... Well, you know, who am I to judge? It's fine. If you want to play League of Legends, you can do so. People will judge you, but you can do what you want. And that's why you are your own person. You can choose to play League of Legends if you really want to. That's what I did when I was 14. Okay, that's better. You have presumably improved. And I don't mean improved at League of Legends because... I don't know. I feel maybe I'm a bit too harsh on League of Legends. And then you'll have people that are, no, you're justifiable. Obviously, you should be more harsh on League of Legends. But there's people here that do enjoy it. And I'm sure every time I'm like, League of Legends, you freaking get this guy out of here. And they're like, why doesn't he let me enjoy this thing that I enjoy? League is actually fun if you don't play it competitively. It's actually, if you play it as ARAM, I think it's actually totally fine. You know, it's just if you try hard, that's when it's not fun. And I'm like, it's the same to me. Okay, but, you know, maybe I'm a bit too harsh on it. but maybe deservedly so. Yeah, it's just a joke, obviously. Literally just a joke. The thing about that is it's rough on those of us that attract attention from normies that want to go fishing, to the bar, this and that. Dude, I just want to sleep. You could just say no. I mean, like, the thing you can do is just not have friends, right? I don't have normie friends in real life. No one's ever asking me to go to the bar or drinking or whatever. And that's how I like it. People are not asking me to do things that I don't want to do. I don't know. I do have coworkers though. They do sometimes say, "Yo, you should come hang out with us on Thursdays and we go drink." I'm like, I don't know. I don't really want to. And then they're like, "All right," and then I just don't do it. The shared suffering strengthens our bonds. League of Legends. I think if there's one thing... Oh, this is a person that's hiking. If there's one thing that you can get out of League of Legends, is to quit League of Legends, and then everyone will congratulate you. Right? I think that's one of the good things you can do, is quit it, and then people are so proud of you. You're like, oh man, that's great. That's, you know, you've done a great job. I'm sure it was hard to do, but you'll be so happy. It's like when you quit smoking, except instead of smoking, it's League of Legends. League of Legends and League with Friends are very different things. See, I already know. I already know. I don't actually know. Sort of like how everyone made fun of Nickelback. Honestly, I don't think Nickelback is that bad. I don't think it's that good, but I also don't think it's that bad. I think it's fine, honestly. But you know, it is the cool thing to do, to be like, ah, Nickelback, those guys suck. Can't believe Nickelback enjoyers. My friends don't invite me to their normie activities. They have their own friend group for that. You could go give us topics. Imagine going to things. That is true though. Going to things give you an opportunity to use that as content on your streams. And I've talked about this, right? How so many VTubers are like so young. A lot of them, maybe not a lot, but like a good amount of them have never really like had what I would say like a real job. I wouldn't say, okay, I'm not saying that VTubing is not a real job, but I mean like a traditional like, you know, job. And then they don't have the life experiences to talk about, right? When you have people that are in their 30s, they have things to, you know, they could, I don't know, they could say things. Like me, obviously, like literally like me, I have so many interesting things to talk about. Look, it's because I'm old. That's the only reason, obviously. And if I wasn't, then I obviously would have nothing to talk about. I guess it's not true. There are young people that do have more to talk about than I do. Because like everyone has lived their own experiences. We're revisiting this topic again about comedy. You know, earlier it was about comedy. Now it's about relating to things. Now it's all about content. I've seen someone comment about people not knowing what a working relationship is with collabs and the like. Like what? What does that mean? Is it like... I guess like a lot of it is kind of like... I don't know what I'm saying. I don't even know. No experience with workplaces. That is true. Yeah, they're like, oh, this person, they're collabing with me, they are my friend. Well, you know, if you're like in a corporate, if you're a corporate VTuber, I feel like a lot of those collabs, you're not necessarily friends with your coworkers, right? You're like, I would love to join the corporation, and then we can have so much fun, we can be a family, we can have so much friend time, we can hang out. And then like when you think about it, they're like your coworkers. They're just out there. They're just trying to live their life. And I'm sure there's many of them that hate each other, but they're coworkers. You just have to do it. They just have to do the collab sometimes. Not everyone loves their gen mates. There's corporate VTubers. You never know what happens behind the scenes. Like, I don't know. I'm just making this up. But I will assume that I'm correct because that is the correct thing to do in this situation, obviously. Touching grass and going on adventures for stories is definitely required to be... It's not actually required. I wouldn't say it's required. But it does enrich the experience. Because if all you have to talk about is like, oh, I was playing League of Legends the other day, and I was on solo queue, and I was on mid, and then this guy he ganked me, and then like I went to jungle, and then he started feeding, and then he threw the game. I can't believe this, man. Then it's like, what is there to talk about? When you're like, I was at work, and my coworker made a Jira ticket, and I hated that, and then I talked about it with him, and he whatever. And then everyone's like, well, what Jira tickets? I know what that is. I can relate to this. I do that at my job. I know Jira. Right? That's how you relate. In a more meaningful way, obviously. And obviously it's superior. The lived experience that I've lived is obviously superior. Because that's how it works. I will never do an actual 9 to 5. It isn't for me ever. I will go back to James Bond villain long before even considering it. And what do you do? What are you doing? My job isn't even 9 to 5. It's like 10 to 5. And even then, it's more like 10:15 to 5. It's more like 10:15 to like 4:50 or whatever. Was it Jira? Well, you said Jira. I know Jira. I use Jira. Oh, we're done. Look at this. Wow. Okay, what are these games? We have what looks like a Switch. We have a heart. We have some kind of exploration game. We have a space game, Kerbal Space Program. We have whatever this is. You have less hours. All of my jobs have been like this. No one really goes to the office on time. This is common for US tech jobs. Although technically it is 9 to 5, people don't actually work 9 to 5, right? I've talked about this. It's like your job ends at 5, but then it's like 4:50, and you're like, no, it's like, hold on, let me restart this bit. Your job technically ends at 5, but then it's like 4:55, and you're like, oh, this is close enough to 5. We can log off now. Everyone on your team agrees. And you're like, okay, this is fine. We'll start leaving at 4:55. And then like a few months later, you're like, 4:50. That's like close enough to 4:55. Just leave at 4:50. And then like a month later, it's like 4:45. That's like close enough, right? And then you start leaving. And then before you know it, people start leaving at 4:30. And everyone's fine with it. Don't they track hours? No, they don't. No one tracks hours. That's not really a thing that happens. At least in tech companies. Slippery slope of leaving early. And also, like, arriving on time. Right? I feel like everywhere that I've worked, people don't arrive exactly on time. It's like, people show up at 10 even. 10 a.m.-ish. That's how it is. Yeah, they don't track hours. I guess they do in Germany? I don't know. What's stopping you from just lying? You could just say you were there. Let's see, Happy Hollow said, last place with a lot of shipping logistics, since that seems to be my thing. Imagine stacking pallets of eggs that are created with really poor welds. I don't even know what welds are. Anyway, I missed a lot of comments. Hold on. Touch grass, how high school conversations went. These kinds of conversations are what got me into League in the first place. What? Gen Z slang, critical security issue, Jira ticket. I hate that. I saw that and I was like, I hate that. I don't enjoy when people try to be funny in their commit messages. I think it's cringe. Let's see, my coworkers silently stopped replying after 4 p.m. on Friday, as they should. You should not be checking Slack after like 5 p.m. ever, unless you're like on call, in which case I guess maybe. All right, which one of these? Let's do midnight launch. Ride and Bareback says, I basically stopped working an hour before I'm supposed to. Don't tell my boss. Oh, your boss is watching this stream right now. They're like, this guy, I thought he was working. You know, as long as you get the job done, right? A lot of times that's the only thing that really matters. Is that you start working and then it's like, if you leave early, it's fine. As long as you finish your sprint commitments on Jira. No one really cares. Actually, it was funny. I like, at one of the companies I worked at, there's this one developer who was like kind of well known in an open source community. And then like when I tell people at my current company that I worked at old company that I worked for, they're like, oh, you worked at that company? There was like this one guy there who like worked on this project. What was it like working with him? It must have been cool, right? You learned so many things. And I was like, it was actually like it kind of sucked. Oh, what the heck? He like would not even be working on like work related things half the time. He'd be like in the office, he'd be doing like open source stuff instead, and people are like, oh, what's the status of this ticket? And he's just like, I'll get to it. And then he would just take a lot of time off, you know, and then he would just not be in the office half the time. And they're like, oh, I guess, you know, you never know. Sometimes you think someone's doing a lot of work, but actually they're just doing other stuff. I remember at that same company, I think there was one person who was working there and he just like spent half the time working on his own project, and then he left the company to like work on his startup. It turns out that like he was working on his startup stuff like at the company that we were working for. Like, wow, that's amazing. You could just do that and no one even notices. That's how it's like. That's how the real world is. People can just work on your company time on their own things. That sounds like a lawsuit. Oh, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that's actually what happened, but that's what I was told. There are people that just they just work for multiple companies at the same time. They do multiple interviews and then they get hired, and then like half the time they're on like Zoom calls, and like on those Zoom calls they're like doing their work for their other company. It happens. Me risking my entire career to get 5 extra minutes of sleep. See, that's the thing, is that I know that for me it's not even a risk. They would actually be like, you know what, that's, you know, you've done good work, you can get that extra 5 minutes of sleep. That's when they value their workers. Is when, like, literally at all the places I worked at, if you were not on call and someone like mentioned you on Slack after hours and you responded to it, they would be like, do not do that. I'm messaging you on Slack after 5 p.m, but that's only so that you see it tomorrow. If you see my message after 5 p.m, do not respond. You do not have to respond to it. I mean, you know, if you wanted to, sure, but like, you know, I don't expect it. And then they're like, all right, I guess I won't do that. So then I just started muting Slack after 5 p.m. And I think it's good. I think it's great. Anyway, I've missed many comments again. I was just yapping. Let me scroll down. What even is this? What are we making here? Something. Probably not Jack said no one tracks hours here either. But many of my coworkers are still active at 8 p.m. What are they doing? What are they even doing though? Typically not with salary job. Yeah, it depends on the type of job. If you're paid by the hour, you do track hours. If you're paid just regular yearly salary, they don't track that. I think in the US they're called exempt and non-exempt employees. Exempt employees are the ones that are just paid regardless of how much they actually work throughout the year. Non-exempt, they have to log their hours somewhere. That's hilarious. Usually employment contracts prevent that. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was not the case. I think that certain job fields value their workers better than others. Yeah, like tech jobs are like pretty good for this kind of stuff. But if you worked at like McDonald's or something, they probably don't care. They don't care as in like they care a lot that you show up on time. But they don't care about you as a person. They're like, ah, this person, I don't know. This person, you better show up for your shift. Working retail, that must suck. Imagine working retail. I could never. I would never do that. I would die. I'm not built for that. People that work retail, you are someone stronger than me. You've experienced so much awful things that I hope to never see in my life. Honestly, those would run a lot better in those relationships if they operated a computer the way you close stream. They need to log off. True. They need to stop responding to Slack. Welcome Hazmat. Wooloop. No, that's a reference to that one game where they brainwash you. I know references. Zoe said, when I was working my job, it was not like rare that I was doing work at 8 p.m. and my coworker was also around at 8 p.m. We have to log the hours, but that means we could do the hours at any point in time. There's a hard limit at 9, so 9 to 4 was not work hours. I see. You could just choose your own hours. I guess that, like, in some ways that's also good. Like if one day you're like, I got stuff to do, you could just show up a bit later. You could stay in the office for a bit longer. And that's also valid. I don't understand people that can make careers out of retail. Two of my friends do that somehow. I guess like if you work retail, right, a lot of it is just like the career progression is just like becoming a manager, right? And then like the goal is to not have to deal with customers that much. And you could, I guess the career ladder would be to become manager, and then you become the regional branch manager, and then you become the associate manager, branch manager, and then like then you start managing more stuff. Then you manage the retail chain, and then you become the CEO. Obviously that's gonna happen. People would do that. People out there are working hours. Anyone working right now? I'm not working right now. But you could. Throughout the day, I'm watching streams. Putting on the Northern Line stream. Putting on the Alyss stream. Putting on the Vacuously stream. A lot of streams to watch throughout the day. You could watch anything. You could live your life responding to the streamer in chat. And I think that's great that we have the time to do this. I like when I watch Northern Line and he like calls out his viewers that are like working in tech. They're just like oh, you're probably at your tech job right now. You write 3 lines of code, you get to watch this stream. All you're doing, you're just moving Jira tickets around. And I'm like, so true, he understands. That's me, I'm doing that. I am in fact watching his stream at work. Is it weird that I still don't know anything about NL but see him appear in memes lately? I think it's weird. You're so weird. You don't even watch NL. That's weird. Everyone's watching it. You have to watch him. If you don't, you're going to be considered weird, okay? You gotta get in before it becomes possible for people to discriminate against you because of it. You know, nowadays it's acceptable. But 5 years from now, everyone will be watching him and you'll be like, they're making references I don't understand. Who's Josh? What the heck? Who's Josh? I don't know that. What is Team Unity? What is that? What does he mean by this thing? I don't understand. And then you just won't get it. Everyone will be laughing and you'll be so left out. Peloton, no, that's Googleable. Welcome, Butt Chris. You're like, what is the simultaneous Campylobacter and I don't even remember. This guy doesn't even remember. Salmonella, that's what it was. Salmonella, Campylobacter. What does he mean by this? Slow fade into normie life. Are there even real normies out there anymore? I feel like a lot of hobbies that were considered non-normie are now acceptable for normies. Remember when gamers thought they were special? And nowadays everyone's playing video games. Back in the day it was like, oh, gamers, whoa, gamer, you are a nerd. Back in the day you used to watch like Star Wars, you were a nerd. Now it's like, yeah, you're just like, everyone does this. I remember when Dungeons and Dragons was considered like a very nerd thing. And now, I mean, it's still kind of, but it's considered much less of a nerd thing. It's much more acceptable to be playing Dungeons and Dragons. Because we don't gatekeep. What about Girl Boss? What about Gaslight? Gamers don't die, they respawn. How do you respawn without dying? No, that's the issue I've always had with it. You respawn after you die. I guess not always. You could still respawn without dying. But like in many situations, you would die and then respawn. What it should be is that gamers have multiple lives. And that they respawn. Games were expensive, now they're not. That's not true. They definitely are still expensive. In fact, some might even say they're more expensive now. Right? Games are like $70 now. Income was limited, now people have unlimited income. Who is living this life? I was talking about this after Marvel Rivals came out. I was like, I remember when discussing comic book characters was incredibly nerdy. Oh yeah, right? Because like the Marvel movies are now like the most popular box office hits of all time. Being a fan of like Iron Man is not a nerdy thing anymore. It's just like, of course, obviously, the Avengers. It's like the biggest movie of all time. Spider-Man, yeah, of course you're a fan of Spider-Man. Everyone knows Spider-Man. I feel like sales will stay pretty low these days. Depends on your definition. Box price of games have been lower than ever. I guess that is true. There's a lot more like quote-unquote free-to-play games nowadays. They do have monetization in the game itself, but the base price of the game is like not as high. I don't know. We do have more options to play games and not pay for them nowadays. Gamers are very resistant to price hikes, at least in terms of base price. Price hikes, aren't they resistant to hikes in general? Am I right, guys? Is it me implying that they don't go outside? Hiking, like physical, like walking outside, hiking. Is that what you're right? See, I still got it. Comedy. That's comedy, everyone. I noticed Steam sales aren't that big anymore. I mean, it depends where you're looking. Some Steam sales, they discount games by like 90%. Games that came out a long time ago. I suspect the reason the base price hasn't raised in a while is that physical stores went away. It used to be a big thing. I guess that is true. Now that you can buy things digitally, retailers don't have to worry as much about like, you know, printing like box art, they printing the box art out there. Box art. They're not even printing boxes, instruction manuals, burning the CDs. CDs got them. having store shelf availability, marketing in stores. You could just go on Steam and be like, oh, there it is. Maybe that's a thing. Yeah, remember instruction booklets. Those were cool. I'd say I'm also way less resistant to buying full price these days if I need to. See, I always thought that was weird about the way like that I buy things though. Like I definitely could afford buying things at full price. Like obviously like for me, if I save like $2 on a game, in the long run it's not gonna make that big of a difference. And yet that's like the only time I buy games most of the time is if there's some kind of discount. It's like, oh, I can save, well, I can save like, you know, 50 cents on this. Like, does it really matter? Like, it obviously like doesn't really. But then like, that's just how my mind works. People like seeing discounts. You're like, whoa, what the? This thing is discounted by 50% even though the base price was like $1. You're like, what? That's like 50% off. Gotta buy it now. Steam takes a cut. That is true. They do take like 30% or something. I'm usually so behind the curve of new releases that I simply have no reason to buy full price. Right? It's like the games that I play are not games that are like well known usually. Right? If you're buying, you know, the new hits game, Call of Duty, whatever, Zombies or whatever, like you're probably paying full price for that thing until like it becomes obsolete a few months from now. But then, you know, I'm just playing like obscure indie games a lot of the time. There's no reason for me to buy them right as they come out. 50% off, how about 100% off? They don't allow that on Steam. Actually, no, they do. They do. They do. Just go on you can go on Epic Games Store. You can get some free games and never play them. That's how it works. $2 can make all the difference in the world. Find something on sale. Sale turns into another trading cards. Imagine caring about trading cards. Crafting cards. You can get $1. You can sell this card on the Steam marketplace for 2 cents. Wow. That's crazy. Does anyone here actually do the Steam trading card stuff? Do people even care? Obviously people do care, but does anyone here care? Does anyone here trade the Steam trading cards? Should I open it or keep it sealed? Wrong trading cards? Are there other trading cards on Steam? Probably no one here, but there are some people that care a lot. Yes. You can make millions of dollars. Welcome, Muffin. I've dabbled, but only for a game that I'm really interested in. Which game? Which game specifically? Wooloop? What if you did it for Wooloop? This game that I'm playing right now. What if you did it for the hit game known as Some Goodbyes We Made? That was a good game. I enjoyed that game. I would consider playing that game again at some point. Anyway. How do we get on this topic? Gaming? Oh yeah, because gaming is gaming is less of a nerd thing nowadays. What's like a thing that's still considered very nerdy? Right? We talked about things that were considered nerdy but are no longer. Are there still things that are like you see this and you're like, this is totally just like an obscure nerd thing? No one else would do this besides nerds. Watching VTubers. Actually, no, because like even anime nowadays is like a normie thing. Warhammer. Oh yeah, like buying and painting figurines. Oh, like Gunpla? That's considered like kind of nerdy, right? I bought all the Virtual cards for Paradise Island. I don't even know what that is. Paradise Island. Surely it was enjoyable. Warhammer. I would think so. Cause like I feel like Dungeons and Dragons is less nerdy nowadays, but I do feel like Warhammer is still like kind of nerdy, right? As far as those kinds of games go. It has not reached market saturation yet. Pathfinder, I hardly even know. Warhammer seems to be getting more mainstream. I see people throw around 40k quotes in YouTube comments frequently. Okay, well maybe I don't see them then. I don't know. Surely there's something that's just like really nerdy stuff. I think the tabletop game is obscure, but the video games are pretty popular. That is true. They did have Vermintide. That was played by many people. They did have another game that I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know. But what about see, like even MMOs are not that nerdy nowadays. Like so many people are into Final Fantasy 14. I remember back in the day, if you were into like World of Warcraft, that was so nerdy. And now like everyone's playing it. Final Fantasy 14, everyone loves that game. The critically acclaimed game with free trial up until level whatever. What else is even nerdy though? Opinion on this is that we are too Twitter-brained. What do you mean? Do you think these things are still considered nerdy? Even by normie standards? I mean, like, they're relatively nerdy. But, like in the general public. Because, like, there's a lot of movie actors who do talk about, like, playing Dungeons and Dragons. Right? Vin Diesel, he had a thing where he was like, I love Dungeons and Dragons. And then people are like, what the? That's based. Actually based. No one plays Weiss Schwarz. Yeah, the card game? That's for nerds. Can't believe. Even, okay, like collecting Pokemon cards. Pokemon is like the most normie thing. I guess Pokemon was always kind of a normie thing, huh? But like trading cards. Everyone's just buying Pokemon cards now to sell them. No one even plays the game, relatively. Well, not no one, but like, you know. Most people are not playing the game. They're buying the cards to sell them or appreciate them in other ways besides playing the game. I remember seeing many articles about crazy Korean MMO obsession back in the day. Lineage and EverQuest. I have heard of those and have never played them. If it's something I mentioned and your first thought is I have no idea what it is, it's either nerdy or too technical, the real nerd junk depends on whatever it is. Well, it's because I don't know many things. I only have approximate knowledge of things. Surely there's things that are popular that I don't know. Like, I don't know movie actors. If you ask me to identify movie actors, I would be like, I don't know. I don't know who that is. Arch Linux is nerdy? Sure is. No, actually, because the Steam Deck uses Arch Linux. And people that use that are not necessarily considered nerdy. Soldering is nerdy? I would say relatively, maybe. I don't know. Graphics driver development? Yes. It is true. Current Vice President of the US? J.D. Vance. Shader development. Oh, demo scene? That's nerdy. The demo scene is considered a nerdy thing, probably. I don't know. Stamp collection will forever be nerdy. I do think so as well. stamp collecting is never like... It's never really gonna hit the mainstream, I think. I think current state of things is consumption isn't nerdy, but creation is nerdy. That is an interesting way to think about it. That is true, right? You buy things, consumerism, buy Funko Pops. Is that nerdy? No, because normies buy Funko Pops. Hardware engineers had to put Arch on the map with a cool product aimed toward modern desktop gamers that want a modern Q1. Q1? The first fiscal quarter of the year? PNG tubing is the only thing that stands out as nerdy. No, I don't think PNG tubing is that nerdy. Because, like, aren't there, like, really well-known YouTubers who basically, like, do that? Content creation is not really nerdy. I'm sure there's, like, some kinds that are. Old product dude like Samsung NPQ1. I don't even know. It's too old for me. This guy's old. He knows old things that I don't even know. I'm just kidding. We have fun here. UMPC era. See, like, I don't know. I just lack the context. Which means that it's nerdy. Obviously, it means this thing is nerdy because I don't know it. And I'm a nerd. If there's things that I don't know, surely it's a nerdy thing. Computer hardware is kind of nerdy. I realize you SEO this title. Yes, I did in fact do that. Whether or not it helps, I'm not sure. Maybe it's actually worse. Don't tell me. I will find out after the stream is over. Computer hardware is kind of nerdy if it goes beyond NVIDIA GPU is big. Imagine, is building your own computer considered nerdy? Would that be a thing still? To a degree, yes. In some ways, you know. The advent of pre-built hardware, because I feel like even nowadays, even pre-built, because like people are just, if people want to play games, they would just buy like an Xbox or like a PS5 or PS4, right? To have such specific requirements or interests that you would build your own computer, like, I guess in some ways that is kind of niche. Look at NL, for example. Bro refuses to get anything new. No, he got a new like something at some point, right? Probably. I'm sure he has. What was the last new thing he got? I don't even know. See, honestly, just hobbies in general are either nerdy as a whole or not nerdy at all. What is the most nerdy hobby? If you could name hobbies that are so nerdy, what would it be? Stamp collecting. Hobbies in principle. Having an interest in things besides work. I don't know. Hobbies. Actually, do you think writing fan fiction is considered nerdy? Writing or reading fan fiction? Yes. I think in some ways, yes. No? We have conflicted opinions on this. Okay, what about managing a Discord server? Being a Discord mod, being a Reddit mod, I think that is considered nerdy, right? Being a Reddit mod, I would say most people would say yes, that is definitely. Well, I guess it would also depend on which subreddit, right? Yeah, it's not inherently so. You know what? Many things are subjective. Discord. What about if you were TeamSpeak mod. Imagine using TeamSpeak. An IRC mod. Okay, being an IRC mod. I would say that's nerdy. We just get more obscure with this. Using IRC in general, I think would make you at least nerdy in some way. Actual Reddit behavior is not for hot people. Imagine being a Reddit mod. Definitely Reddit mod is more nerdy than Discord mod. No, but then didn't Zolly say the opposite though? I was more with you when you said Discord. But like, I feel like Reddit is like, it's like fairly normie nowadays. I'm sure it depends on the Reddit, obviously. What about, okay, you know what I would consider to be nerdy? Being a Wikipedia editor. I would say if you were a regular if you were a regular contributor to Wikipedia, I would consider that to be fairly nerdy. If you were an active member of TV Tropes and you were writing articles on TV Tropes, I would say that would count as being nerdy. I don't know. Look at this guy. He's trying to gatekeep being nerdy. Hey, I don't think this hobby is nerdy enough. You think this is nerdy? I don't think so. Wikipedia talk page drama. What is the most recent Wikipedia drama? Everyone loves drama. That's why it's a genre. Drama. Comedy, action, drama. Other genres? I don't know. Anyway, there's many things to consider. What's the deal with society, right? Am I right, guys? So true. So true, Wolfie. It always comes back to society. He's always just out here talking about society, and yet he doesn't even understand what he means by this. I think my issue with this conversation is that I still perceive being nerdy as something negative, and at the same time, when I look at people getting invested into things, I tend to feel no negativity most of the time. This dissonance makes it difficult to determine what nerdy is. Well, I think you were just interpreting it in a strange way. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. Train spotting is still nerdy, but also based because public trans. Oh yeah, if you're like an otaku who's like obsessed with like trains and planes, that's considered somewhat nerdy. I feel calling something nerdy is either meant to gatekeep, to dunk at people or as an act of self-deprecation. So true. What does it even really mean to be nerdy? You could write an entire thesis on this. Examination of the changing definition of nerdiness over time. Like back in the day, we could make an entire video essay on this. I'm sure they have. I'm sure there's many people who have done this. It's like nerdiness is defined by Merriam-Webster as as this thing. Throughout time, we've had many nerds. Obviously, the definition of nerd has evolved over time. And in this video essay, I'm going to explore how that has changed, how the public perception of being a nerd has developed over the course of many years. And then you go back like into the early days. You're like, back in the caveman eras, there were people that were, I don't know where I'm going with this. Imagine if that was a coherent bit. I think what has changed is the perception of geeky people. Yes. So true. What's the difference between a geek and a nerd, though? Because I was talking about nerds, and yet you said geeky. Acceptance of nerdiness is way behind me. What is the difference, really? A nerd has actual skills? What? I feel like a lot of people use them interchangeably, though. To be a geek. Geeks dress funny, nerds know the difference. People into planes, trains, boats are funny. They would snatch me up into 1 to 2 hour video, or sorry, 2 hour documentary sessions in VR video worlds. They're on VR chat. Being like, you gotta check out this train. This train was invented in the 1970s. That's a GEC. You're talking about GEC, that's a different thing. Did I welcome you, X-Tag? Have you been here the whole time? Geeks are collection-oriented, gathering facts and mementos related to their subject of interest. They're obsessed with the newest, coolest, trendiest things the subject has to offer. Nerd, a studious intellectual, although again over a particular topic or field. Is that necessarily the definition, though? That's just one person's opinion. And they might be right, but I just don't know. I simply do not even, I shrimply don't even know. Any shrimps out here? Shrimping. Make sure you sit up properly. Do not be shrimping. I should sit up. I'm gonna sit up right now. I have now set up. Also, what are we making here? What was this supposed to be? We have a bunch of people in hoods. Oh, this was LAN party, right? Wasn't this LAN party? Every now and then, I get recommended a video of a train just going along on YouTube. People get into stuff like that and know the stats and stuff. Yeah, they're like, this is the whatever train. This came up in the 19 whatevers. Welcome, Chenna. Thank you for the unshrimping reminder. Unshrimp yourself now. You should unshrimp yourself now. And then you go, thank you. Thank you, low tier unshrimper. Shrimp. Shrimping. Anyway. Memes. What about memes, huh? What's the deal with memes? What's the new hit meme of 2025? Have there been any new memes? Have there even been any memes recently? They got the Fujoshi Miku. That's a new hit meme. Sawtown's new song about Fujoshi Miku. Everyone loves it. What is this? Oh, this was midnight launch. This is them releasing a game at midnight. People don't do this nowadays. Imagine lining up for something at midnight. Cringe. I would rather not. Have I ever gone to a midnight launch? No. I don't think I have. Has anyone here been to a midnight launch for anything? They still do for GPUs. Like, I feel like I don't care about GPUs though. Fujo Miku looks like a combination of 2 or 3 VTubers. No, it's the other way around. VTubers are a combination of the classic Fujoshi, whatever it's called. Apple devices. Do people line up midnight for Apple devices though? Is that still a thing that people do? Don't they just order them online when they're announced and then they get delivered? Fuji. He said Fuji Miku. Word wrong. Fujo Miku with a rendition of Beethoven Virus, an orchestral remix of Beethoven's Piano Sonata No. 8. I think it is a good song. It was actually quite enjoyable as a song. Let's do game library. What the heck? Where's this? Now I'm picturing a Miku flavored Fuji cam. Fuji, isn't that the reactive PNG program you use on Discord? You're like, Wolfie, that's not That's not it. That's not the same thing at all. You said the wrong thing. I know. It was a joke. When words sound similar. I told you, I know. I can't believe you thought that I didn't know. Obviously I know. This guy, he doesn't even know that I incorrectly presumed. I think VTubers are simply the Fujoshis of history. Imagine living in society. You're thinking of Fugies. I meant that type of water bottling company. No, I understand. You're talking about the company who bottles water from the mountain. Fuji. The big mountain in Japan that they get all the water from. The mountain of Fuji. Fuji-san. Have good luck shopping, riding bareback. I hope you find exactly what you need in the grocery store. Pronouncing Fujo like it's Godot. I know, they said Godot wrong. Godot. 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 Anybody that's a streamer, VTuber, whatever, that has an established presence on the internet has one. I definitely don't know. Wait, has what? Oh, Fugi? Oh, Fugi. Or a Fujo. Fujo. Everyone has a Fujo. Obviously. Fujo Tech. Yo, what if what if instead of Fugi Tech it was Fujo Tech? Oh my god. They should get on this right now. They should make one for the Fujo. Oh my god. No, I'm just joking. We're just joking. But they should. I've heard Godot pronounced as Jodot too. Jodot. In the Jodot. Ooh. Now that's a reference. Does anyone even understand that reference? I understood because I made the reference. Fudon Wolfie. Fujo Wolfie. No. Imagine media. The future is now old man Yowie. Old men Yowie. It's always about that guy. John Yowie. What's the deal with John Yowie? Inventing Yowie. Isn't it weird that like the word Yowie is used in English, but then in Japanese they don't actually say Yowie. If you say Yowie, I feel like if you say Yowie to like some Japanese person, they'll be like, "What is that?" If you say BL, they're like, "Oh, that's yeah, I know what that is." It's not even a word they use. It's like how in a lot of like English speaking communities of people that play Japanese mobile games, they'll call them mobage, right? M-O-B-A-G-E. But then if you say that to a Japanese person, they're like, we don't call them that. Mobage is like the name of like an actual Japanese company that makes mobile games. We call them soshage. Social games. That's what they call them, or like they have another name depending on the genre. They don't actually call them mobile. It is weird because like I remember one time I was like talking to someone and I said that and they're like, "That's not. We don't say that. That's like a company. We say other things." Strange. Strange how we use words that they don't even use. Pronounce mobage as mobage, mobage. Mobage, Gacha game. Godot, that takes me back like the smell of a fresh cup of joe. Fresh brewed cup of joe. Welcome Namington. Cuppa. In the UK you can say cuppa. And they specifically mean a cup of tea. A fresh cuppa. Alright, I'm gonna hydrate. It is 7 p.m. Perfect time to drink water. Alright, I've hydrated. Hoppy Hollow said, in a lot of old marketing flyers I see BL tag used, and they're still used. Marketing flyers for what? For BL? For BL games? Beelzebub? If he was BL. I don't want to know. Alright, I will trust your judgment. What are other words like that? Words that like are typically used in the language that they're not associated with, but then like the people that actually speak that language don't use that word. It definitely happens the other way around as well, right? A lot of Japanese words are based on English words, but then like people who speak English don't say those things, right? Such as well-known phrase guts pose. In Japanese, you'll often hear people say guts pose, and they're referring to a very specific pose. If you told that to someone who speaks English, they're like, I don't know, unless they know anime. You're like, what is guts pose? I don't even know. We call mobile phones handy in German. Hand these. Got 'em. A lot of things. A lot of loan words that are not even really loan words. Apartment complexes called mansions. Oh yeah, that is a thing in Japanese. They do use the word mansion for apartments. I remember like hearing that and someone's like, oh, I'm just gonna go back to my mansion. And you're like, what? You have a mansion? And they're like, yeah, of course. Like everyone has a mansion. You're like, what is it? That's not true. You have a mansion? That's just how they refer to apartments. That's weird. Why did that happen? I'm stealing that. You'll say handies. Got them. Got them. What are some other examples? We gotta think of many examples and then we can be like, oh, so true, so true. Mansion plan is popular internet package. The mansion plan. Maryland Mansion. Maryland Mansion in his $1 million mansion. Man's son. Maryland man's son. Okay. What about the word known as the word? What about that one, huh? What about words? Does anyone even know words? Words with friends. Is that even a thing? Words with friends? No, no one even knows words anymore. No one even cares about words. Back in my day, people would use... Why am I talking like this? Back in my day, people would use words and they would understand. But nowadays, you use words and people don't understand. You tell someone skibbity riz and they're like, I understand. And then you say Rizzler and they're like, I don't know what that is. Like, how can you know about skibbity riz but not know Rizzler? Come on. I once used words. Worst mistake of my life. I've used words. I'm using words right now. I will continue to use words for like as long as I can. I hope so. Words are just made up. They are. That's how language evolves. It's like we get so stuck to the past. Don't you know that words are descriptive instead of prescriptive? That's a thing, right? I've given this example many times before. How people say it's giving, right? They don't say it's giving something something vibes. They just say it's giving something something. I'm like, what does that mean? It's giving? That's stupid. You should say the full thing. It's giving what? Scripting. Me scripting. What does that mean? Is serving. Yeah, it's serving what? Okay, this one is huge. Look at it. Is this chat? What is this? Is this chat? I don't even know what this is. It is providing. It's giving. It is receiving. It is participating. It's me. I don't actually know if it is chat. I forgot what this one was supposed to be. Oh no, this was game collection. Oh, this is a Steam game collection. It's a list of games that you have on your Steam profile. It is attacking. It is doing many a thing. It is providing for its family. Yo, Twith chat. It does say Twith. Twith. What is the newest global emote they added? Can someone post it? I feel like they keep adding them and like I don't realize they're there. And then I see someone use it and I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing. What is that? And then I hover over it and it's a global emote. It's probably some kind of collab. It's usually a collab. They're always out there collaborating with brands. This looks new. That's been there for like at least 2 weeks. Twith. No, what's the newest one? You gotta show the newest one. You have to. So that I can see it and judge their decisions. I can't believe they added this thing. What is that? Oh, that's a ZZZ. ZZZ. Zenless. Zone 0. Oi, bro, that's a Zenless Zone 0. Classic. Zenless. Could that be an insult? If you go up to someone and you're like, I think you're pretty zenless. You're looking pretty zenless. And they're like, what the frick, man? You insult me like this? I'm not zenless. You're zenless. And they get so offended. They're like, oh my god, how is he so zenless? He's gormless. Gormful. Still sad Bible Thump is gone. Yeah, they replaced it with Big Sad. I don't think anyone uses Big Sad unironically. Big Sad. Yeah, that one. You know, I think my favorite like crying / sad emote lately has been hold on, where is it? This one. I've been using this one a lot. I feel like it gives a good sense of like it kind of looks a bit pathetic too, like you're pleading. You're like, no, streamer. It feels like a bit sarcastic. Just something about it. It's just so usable. Global sickos. How they made Glorp into a 7TV global emote. Can you believe that? Yeah, like those. They have like a similar vibe. It's like how like when streamer says something and you're like, oh, streamer hates us, and then you post that emote. It's like it feels like it fits perfectly. There's other crying emotes that don't really make sense in that context. Like they're like too sad. But this one's like, it's sad, but also kind of like pathetic. It's like, no, streamer, no, I can't believe streamer would say this. Streamer hates us. No, streamer's leaving forever. We have to post this crying emote. Not all emotes can fill that criteria. But then, like, I wouldn't use this for, like, something that is legitimately sad. If there was, like, some tragic event, like, that's not the emote to post. That feels like it's kind of, like, insulting. But I guess it's also kind of like, if there is a tragic event, would I really use an emote instead of, like, posting a sincere message? The answer is yes, I would. Because that is what emotes are for. They're meant to convey any emotion without needing to use words. Praying emote, welcome Nano Dan. Salute. Yeah, you have to have an emote for every situation. And if you don't, then you don't have enough emotes. You gotta subscribe to all of the channels. Literally have to. W? A W in chat? Dubs. It's like how we call them dubs. Get that dub, boss man. Dub. Imagine dubbing. What is that emote? Oh, that's like one of those rabbit things. One of them rabbits. Jello rabbits or whatever. That perfectly describes how I became a forum weapon. What does that mean? You have weaponized your emote usage. Weapons of mass destruction. Dubs, George Dubs? W? Pointing laugh emote. Shades emote. Has anyone had an emote that they enjoy using recently? You're like, oh, I was gifted this sub. I love using this one. And then you post it and it's like, whoa, I can see that. You can use this in any situation. It is so usable. Can't believe I don't have this one. A lot of situations. Yeah, vacuo read, that's a good one. I don't recognize the other ones. What are the other ones? I would have to hover over them to know. Rainbow dancing emotes. Those are in fact also a thing. Dancing emotes, quite usable. A lot of times people are singing things or there's some kind of music. Have you used this one of it? The only smoking emote I have? When do you use that one? What context would you use that one in? Kind of a lot of good ones I don't use. Well, why are you not using them? You have to use them. Hamflow always got a Karagi sub but never uses my number one, Karagi Shy. Well, it's because like maybe the streams you're watching, he doesn't really need to use that emote because it's not relevant. The streamers are not talking about things that you could be shy to. I don't tend to subscribe to people because no money. I only use my emotes. Can't believe them. You would not spend billions of dollars specifically for emotes. I would spend billions. That's why you gotta act shy. Ironically, that's also a good one. Vacuously has a lot of good emotes. Billions. Billions of dollars. I subscribe to Northernline and I hate his emotes. I never use them. No one uses his emotes. Literally no one. No one's using those Northernline emotes. Why am I talking like this? It feels strange using other VTubers emotes in someone's chat. I don't think so. I feel like it's normal. Thank you, anonymous gifter, for gifting the subscription to channel. Who the heck? Who would do that? Feels like I'm an invader. I think it's fine to use other people's emotes on other streams. I think the only time that it might feel slightly weird is if like everyone in the streamer chat only ever uses their emotes, right? Welcome Ume, I know. Here is the Walfer. That's me. That's me. Let's see, honestly, I don't know if there's a FleshTuber with good emotes. I'm sure there are. Doesn't HC Justin have good emotes? Possibly. I've had some gifted emotes. Hold on. I think like this one. What about this one? Oh, my gift sub expired. There was, wait, did it expire? No, yeah, it did expire. Never mind. Sometimes I get raided into some non-VTubers and then get randomly gifted an emote from like a hype train or something. There's some that are like decent. Yeah, sickos. It feels a little culty if there are no other emotes. That's what I think. I feel like if you go to a Twitch chat and like they're only ever using that streamer's emotes, it's like these people really don't watch other streamers. I don't know. It's a bit much to judge them by that, but it feels weird. in my opinion, at least. But maybe it's fine. I think I wait a bit, make sure there's not some kind of weird stream beef I'm not aware of. I never thought that that could happen. I guess that could happen. Is that maybe that streamer hates another streamer and then you use their emotes and you're like, what the heck, man? Don't they know about the drama between these two streamers? You can't use their emotes here. You get them out of here. Mods, ban this guy. Yeah, ban them. Get him out of here. Once got gift sub to Derma twice. Felt like I hit the super lottery. Is there a way to check how long you've been subbed to someone? German. Have I ever gotten a German sub? I don't think I've ever gotten a German sub. You could probably go to their channel and type /user and then your own username. And then you could see how long you've been subbed. That's a thing you can do. Germer sub. Germa. Germa mentioned. Germer. The Germer baby. Remember the Gerber baby? What's the deal with that? Human emotes. No, it was a cartoon version of them. That's just how it is. Off topic, Matara was going you laugh you lose, just was what? And just was the last clip. She said Germa was the last clip. She said she watched them ages ago. No, wait. Who? Off topic, Matara's. Just watch the last clip. You need to, wait, what does your sentence mean? Oh, Justin. You see Justin. She said she watched him ages ago, and then 3 or 4 of us, and Justin subs popped up in the chat. Now I know. Hypothetically, is this like docs? It's not docs. Hypothetically, if she had a past life, did that past life not collab with HC Justin though? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, hypothetically, I was there when that happened back in that, well, maybe, I don't know. If it was real, maybe it's not, I don't know. Going to your subscriptions and expired subscription shows your past gifted subs. Ah, yeah. I see. Justin collab with so many people I can't remember. I remember. I was there. I was like, what the? HC Justin's collabing with a VTuber? I gotta watch this. And then, like, that was... it happened. Hypothetically, of course. Not that this necessarily happened, but it could have. Yeah, let me check. Do I have a Germa sub? Twitch.tv/subscriptions. Expired subscriptions. 99 plus. I have 99 plus expired subscriptions. Anonymous, someone just gifted me a Germa sub. Who did this? Who is watching this stream gifting me a Germa subscription right now? Well, thank you, anonymous gifter, for gifting me a Germa sub. I have many subs. Look at all of these subscriptions that I no longer have. Germa is there. I can't scroll through all of these. Some of these are channels that I don't even know. I've never even seen some of these. Wow. Yeah. See, like a lot of these, some of these people don't even stream anymore. They don't even exist. Same I don't like about the expired sub list. The last gifter name disappears. The stream live bubble disappears completely. Some entire countries get wiped. Stops counting at 99 plus. Could you inspect the element and see exactly how much the number is? Surely there is some information. I don't know. I do have many gifted subs. That's just how it is on this website. Sometimes you just show up and then you get gifted a sub. And you're like, whoa, what the? Thank you, anonymous gifter. It'd be nice if it would be knife, guys. It would be knife. Streamer said the word wrong. It'd be nice if the entries didn't get wiped. Wait, if you scroll back far enough, it doesn't show the old ones. Is that what the thing is? You're telling me that there's only 99 of these, and that I could have had even older ones that aren't here? Can't believe this. Valorant. What is this? A Valor for ants? They get wiped. Okay. That kind of sucks. Why would they do that? There's only 99 streamers. Name all of them. If you're a fan of Twitch streamers, name all Twitch streamers. Didn't think so. That's right. Pretending. You just pretend. When I would see 90 expired subs, I could manually scroll and only see 88. Oh man. John streamer. German. Northern Lion. That's it. That's all of them. Vinny Vine Sauce. That's a guy. That's a guy who exists. Doobie, that's a person. Doobie 3. Yeah, venison vine sauce. Pizza pasta man, vine sauce. I sure have a lot of expired subs. I also do. I also have many. Expired sub, you mean Ocean Gate? Guys, because that's a sub. Okay. Another year, another name. 100 VTubers. Name all VTubers. Name all of them. Bet you can't even name 10 VTubers. I could probably name 10 VTubers in this chat right now. Literally VTubers that are watching this stream right now. But I won't, because I would simply not call attention to them. Expired Subway sandwich. See, that was my first thought. But I was like, wouldn't it be funnier to reference Ocean Gate? Wolfie's chat has a high proportion of VTubers. It is true. There are a lot of VTubers to watch. And I think that's cool. You know what else was cool though? Is when I did my anniversary stream, I feel like I got a lot of fan art. Like compared to various other Padlets / Kudo boards that I've seen before, I feel like I got a lot more like fan art that wasn't commissioned. That's a difference. It's like I think a lot of VTubers I watch, they have fans that are not really artists. But then like also I enjoyed that the fact that people that watch me that aren't artists, they did still draw stuff, which I feel like is kind of rare. Right? Because like if you're in a community and like there's a streamer and like you're not an artist, I feel like often they'll do like a skeb commission and then they'll put that on like a birthday thing or like anniversary thing. But then I was like, whoa, these people like they made it themselves, even though they are not like confident in their own art skills. I thought that was really cool, and I appreciated that. Actually, I'm pretty discouraged from making art for streamers who get high quality fan art. It's cool when people do anyway. Is it like, oh, they commissioned a skeb for this anniversary? What the? I can't put my thing next to this. I can't believe it. I never even thought about that. I think maybe it also helps that my model is very simple. That's probably why. Because like if you have a VTuber who's that's Happy Toaster. That's probably what it was. It's because like I'm not that hard to draw. But then if you like, you know a VTuber who's like complex with their design, you're like, I can't draw this. That's crazy. I would be omitting so many details. What if they hate it? What if they're like, oh, this isn't even on model. They didn't even get the detail right on the right part of the sleeve. But then me, it's like, yeah, whatever, I can do this. It's easy, I can do this. I manually count 106, so it's like 108, 109. I got sniped too much. Still nice that culture exists though. Probably the lifeblood of Twitch. Could you imagine 100 plus auto subs? I would go broke after a month. I'm sure there are people, that have 100+ subscriptions that are not gifted. Can't believe I forgot Wolfie's second hair tuft. I don't even notice, honestly. I feel like if there's any inaccuracies in my model, like when I draw my own character, and by character I mean myself, like details are not consistent. Sometimes I'll just forget stuff. And that's fine. Because it's like in real life, you know, people's hair changes day to day. People have different outfits. I don't know. Draw me every time you draw a rectangle. No, the toasters are different. Not every rectangle is a toaster. I remember I drew the absolute first little MS Paint doodle for a streamer's birthday board. She put it on the permanent starting soon screen slideshow thing along a bunch of other epic arts. And that's how it should be. They should appreciate every piece of art that anyone has spent time creating. Because I think that's good. Really feels like streamers starting soon screens are the streamer's fridge door. So true. You can put all the things, it's like an infinite fridge. You're not limited by size. You can put as many things you want on there. Wanting to add a fan or slideshow, I think it's cool. No, come on. Why is this so slow? You mess up once and you have to wait for this entire thing. Alright. Can't believe they would do this to me. Imagine if Wolfie was bald. He is. Someone posted a ballin' emote. He has bald. Like bald, B-A-L-L-E-D. He's bald. There he is. He's bald. Twitch does have a lot in common with an old GeoCities page. Slap silly art and gifs on it. Yeah, the Pikachu under construction gif. Anyone remember that one? The Pikachu bouncing a Pokeball on its head. That was a good one. A lot of good classic internet gifs from back in the day. You would post that on your web ring. Remember web rings? This GeoCities is part of the Pokemon web ring. Click here to see the next. And then you click and you go to the next website in the web ring. And then you never find it again because it was impossible. Spinning. Home. New home? Anyone living in a new home right now? Hamflo, he's living in a new home. Or he will be. That's right. Streamer referencing other streamers and their daily life when not even brought up. Unbelievable. Does a year count as new? This year is new. 2025, it is a new year. It is in fact a year that is new. Hamflow in new home. You could say the ham has flowed to a new location. It's the year of the snake. It's not though. It's not the year of the snake. That happens later. Right? Yeah, soon. Not now. Many people are like, 2025, the year change. Obviously, it's got to be the next animal year. No, you got to go by the lunar calendar. It's not even the same. It's a totally different thing. Year of the snake. You're telling me the guy from Metal Gear got his own year? The guy, John Snake. Jonathan Snake. He's out there. Year. That's him. He says year. What am I saying? What am I doing? What is this puzzle? That is not Solid Snake. That is a different snake. That's just like a regular snake. Just like a snake in the grass. What is this? It is solid though, right? Because like, what? It's like a liquid snake. Oh, it could. Oh, it's actually. they thought of everything. I was like, you know, the different states, but then there is a liquid snake. I was like, that snake can't be liquid, and obviously it's solid. But no, it could be liquid. It could be many things. There's many states. Solidus. Solid D's. Got him. Solidus. I don't even know what Solidus is. Still waiting for gaseous snake. Snake when he goes to Taco Bell. Am I right, guys? Am I right, gamers? So true. Oh, that Wolfie. Always out here making his jokes. He thinks he's so funny. Well, he is. He's actually so funny. I sure am glad I watched his latest YouTube video. Available on youtube.com/@Wolfie-clips. Baby shoes, if they were search engine optimized keywords. Yeah, YouTube. The Clips channel. Streamer, there is no command. You have to go there yourself. You have to scroll down in the whatever the page, the website page. Isn't it weird that those are the same thing? Websites, web page. They're not the Wolfie, they're not the same thing. A website has many pages, okay? Implying that a website is the same as a web page is simply inaccurate. He doesn't even understand. Who does he think he is? He doesn't even know. A web page. The web. Spidered web. Spidered web. It's a web of information. It's a web of lies. For some reason it doesn't show on desktop but does on mobile. What? Twitch, what are you doing? Game library. Oh, this is the Steam library. Look at this. Hold on. Let's watch them do this first. Oh, that's what I was making. And then you go here. And then you go... Wait, how do I get this view? Well, on the left side, we have the left side, okay? We have all these games right here. You know what? I'm even going to uninstall one right now. Uninstall Walking Sim. Get that out of here. This thing is inaccurate. Imagine it being tucked into a comfy web by a wholesome spider. So true. So true. What else can I uninstall? What else should I uninstall? Squeakcross demo? I don't know. Welcome Home Empty. I still have these games. I've never played these. Search all. UFO. Frog game. Euro Truck Sim. Update. There's an update to Euro Truck Sim. Team Fortress 2 update. Mini Motorways. Passepartout 2. A lot of games. A lot of games out here. Face Rig. Remember Face Rig. Classic. Have I played Bloons? I have. I've streamed it even. I've done it. How many demos do I have? Whoops, typed that wrong. What is this? What the heck is this? I guess this is probably on my wish list. I didn't even know this was a thing. I guess I have this. I don't even... What is this? Race on dedicated server? GTR Evolution demo? Dedicated server? I've never heard of this. Is this just in my library? Code has price demo. DEFCON beta demo. Koneru Dimension Girl demo. Demo and crawl. This was a good demo though. Bonnie Bear Saves Frog Time. Looking forward to that one. Alright, let's do let's do this one. Headset. It sure is. It sure is set. Love this game though. Wooloop is so good. No one ever plays Wooloop, but I do. Because I appreciate it. It's like one of those baby sensory videos. Baby sensory videos. 10. I'm trying to SEO optimize a baby sensory video. Baby sensory video, great for learning, great for knowledge, child, educational, happy baby. YouTube, Twitch. Enjoyable by all. I don't know. This Wolfie guy, he only has one bit. He says one thing and he just says the same thing many times. That's why it's funny, because comedy is in repetition. That is definitely a thing that people say, is that the more you say something, the funnier it is. That's why the Coinstar bit. Does anyone understand that reference? Coinstar? Valid to have one bit? Exactly. Coinstar. You should watch it. If you don't know about the Coinstar bit, Gabriel Gundacker, the guy who loves music on Vine, he went live on stage and he said one joke for like 10 minutes. The joke basically goes, I went to the Coinstar. You won't believe this, guys. I went to the Coinstar. That's right, the Coinstar. And you know what? It never works. And so I go to the Coinstar and it just doesn't, you won't believe, it just doesn't work. So to fix this, I go to the Coinstar, right? You're not gonna believe this one, guys. I go to the Coinstar, and you know what? I go to the Coinstar. I try. It just doesn't work. It never works. And then I go to the Coinstar, and it doesn't work. He does that for like an entire like 5 minutes, and the crowd gets so uncomfortable. And I think it's the funniest thing of all time. Is clip farming? No, it's a real bit. Look it up. Gabriel Gundacker Coinstar. Here, I'll do it. You know, I'll do it because I can do it. Gabriel, he typed that wrong. Gabriel Gundacker Coinstar. The Coinstar lyrics. What is this? Coinstar monologue. Am I now a React streamer?
Every single time I go to the Coinstar, it's not working. And I go to the Coinstar, and it's not working. Every single time I go, the Coinstar is not working. Every single time I go to the Coinstar, it's not working. And it never works.
It never works, guys. It goes to the Coinstar, and it just doesn't work.
I've been going to this Coinstar. Every once in a while, I go to the Coinstar, and it never works. And it's not working.
He goes to the Coinstar. He tells it live on stage.
It's not working. And I go over to the Coinstar, and I'm at the Coinstar.
And people are like, what is this bit?
Coinstar is not working.
What is this bit that he's doing?
I went to the Coinstar, and
so we have justice with
Kronk.
Kronk pulls a lever.
I go over to the Coinstar, and it's not working. And every time I go to the Coinstar, it's not working.
It just doesn't work.
So I go over to the Coinstar.
It literally doesn't work.
At this point, the Coinstar is not working. And I go over to the Coinstar, and it never
doesn't work. It just doesn't. It just keeps doing it.
So I go to the Coinstar, and it's not working. Thank you, guys.
See, they think it's hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. I enjoyed that. Very memorable. Coinstar bit. The Coinstar bit. +2. I think he's a comedic genius. He also did the song Zendaya is Michi, if you're aware of that one. He also did the bit of the guy who loves music. He did the one where it's like ISIS. The ISIS slipper, ISIS. Look out, the ISIS slipper, the ISIS. Classic comedian. He also did the fake Wii song with the Wii Sports. What is it called? Those are legitimately good. I wish I could listen to them on stream. I don't know if they're copyrighted. The allegations? Hold on. What? Allegations? Criticism? What did he do? 2023? This what? Is this real? Is that real? Allegation? I didn't know this. Holy frick. Is this real? Is this real? Oh no, what? I didn't know this. This is how I find out. It could be a bit. Is it a bit though? Cause no? Okay, I guess it's real. Alright, well then, I'll forget what I said. I disregard anything. Welcome Kozes. I thought, you know what though? Coinstar. Can't believe it. No, I didn't know. Guys, I actually didn't know. I had no idea. It's like when you use Google and then you're like, it's like when you're watching a show and then it's like, you type a character's name and then it auto suggests like death or something and you're like, what? You're telling me this guy like died? Can't believe this happened. I didn't know, guys. Can't believe this. Can't believe that the Coinstar bit is not even real anymore. Man. Anyway, what was I talking about before this? What was the context of this? Oh, repeating things. I was like, the concept of repeating things is what makes things funny. Now I can't reference the one Vine where he asked his roommate if those were his car keys. And then, oh yeah, I remember that one. Man, you ever think about Vine? What are a lot of those people doing nowadays? Actually, I remember, this is kind of tangentially related, is that you ever wonder how like people you knew in high school are doing? I remember one time several years ago, I was like, oh, I remember this person from high school. I wonder what they're doing now. I Googled their name and then I found out they were like involved. They like drunk driving or whatever. First, literally all the results that showed up was like they like killed someone because they were drunk driving. And I was like, oh god, what the? I can't believe this. I was literally thinking about that, right? Because like you don't keep up with people, and you're like, what are they doing now? And then you find out they might not be doing well at all. High school friends, exactly. Nothing good can come up looking old high school friends. No, this person wasn't a friend of mine. They were just a classmate. I was like, oh, I remember this person. They were kind of weird. What are they doing now? I searched them and I'm like, oh, I see. Well, that sucks. That's unfortunate. Man, I can't believe this. That this would happen. That's absurd. Anyway. But sometimes it's good though. Sometimes you're like, oh, what are they doing now? What the? They're doing this? They're like doing really well in life. They like won awards for something. They're like, I don't know, they started a charity for something, right? They've donated millions of dollars to charity. Nothing good ever came of high school. Half of my friends were wiped out within the month of graduation. The rest fell off hard. 3 or 4 in okay shapes. What do you mean they were wiped out? Like they died? I mean, like conceptually, if you don't keep up with them, they might as well have died, right? It's like this. They did they actually die? Like literally or like figuratively? Within a month? I find that unlikely. That they literally... Well, I don't know. Maybe there was some tragic event. What was the tragic event at your high school? That's a viral post that goes Viral post that goes viral all the time. What was the event at your school? Retweet this with your favorite event. There's lead in the pipes. Man. What are they doing? Your school is pretty mild. As far as you know, though. Maybe you only think it's mild because you don't know the things people were up to. He did what in the urinals? Share your deepest school trauma online. No, it's not even trauma. It's like the incident. It's always like, oh, there was this one kid that did this thing and then he got suspended. Wow, that was crazy. Guy, what? X tag? That's messed up. Hecked up, man. Kid. Okay, there's many very serious things that happen in your high schools. I didn't think it would be like this. I thought it would be funny. It'd be like, ah, this one kid, he did this. He set off a fart bomb in the school, and then, you know, they got in trouble, and that's funny. But these are too real. Okay, this is too real. You gotta make something up, okay? If that's your incident, you gotta be like, oh yeah, there's this really funny thing. There's like this guy who did this thing, and it's so funny. Not really an at school thing. Drunk driving was common. What? See, as someone who lives in New York City, I don't think any of my classmates drove. Everyone just took the subway. I don't even know if my classmates in high school knew how to drive or even had access to a car. Biggest thing I remember, 2 kids fought and one threw a chair at another. Man, kids are always doing that. They're just always throwing chairs. Zoe said after grad, I heard people had beep on the sofa in the shared room. Room had a massive window. Guy got caught stealing a Baby Bell after a long streak of stealing individual things. Oh, that's like the cheese, right? Baby Bell cheese. We had trench coat mafias. I'm sure none of them got by pew pews. A lot of stuff happened. I'm sure there's like a lot of stuff that happened at my high school that I just didn't know about. Because like I didn't hang out with people. Right, it's probably like if you interacted with like the cool kids, it'd probably be like, oh, this guy got so drunk that he whatever did this thing. This guy was doing drugs or whatever. I did not involve myself in any of that. I would just go home after school and just go and not pay attention to anything. We had teachers being suspended for acting sus around female students. I remember when I was in middle school, I did have a teacher that did just give preferential treatment to girls. It was, in hindsight, very weird. Being that kind of cool is kind of lame. What, doing drugs? Suspended equals fires? Oh, to be fired. That one wasn't fired. Man. For sure, many students smoked a lot of Mary Jane. I don't even know what that is. What do you? Isn't that the Spider-Man character? Isn't that Spider-Man's girlfriend? That one wasn't fired. What? What the heck, man? It's still messed up. What are they doing in schools, man? Man, schools are scary. Mary Jane is the oregano? I didn't know that. Why is, oh, marijuana. I see. Marijuana. I get it. It's got the same letters. See, you can tell that I don't know things. No one that I knew has ever called it that. There was a lot of that nobody fired, but I remember a few needed to be. Half my English teachers were not. Ooh, what the? Are you British? Isn't that a word they use in the UK? Bit of them jazz cigarettes. I think some seniors put a bunch of school furniture on the roof as a prank. That was pretty wild. Oh, those kids. Always just out there putting furniture in places that they don't need to be. And then someone has to go up and get them. Wildly inconvenient. It's madness. Madness. This is Sparta. Am I right, guys? Sparta. Remember that? That's a movie that existed. Madness. Madness. Just like the Newgrounds Flash things of the guys with the violence. Madness. Reloaded. Madness. Isn't that the Joker who possibly destroys another Joker and then gains 0.5 times mults in small blind or large blind? Right? My last English teacher was the only one with a criminal record. The screaming match he got into. The counselor trying to get me moved out of his class. Man. Those teachers, they're just out there just doing things. It was wild. A lot of people with funny stories about their teachers. I remember I had one teacher, the science teacher, and he would try to convince me to use Linux, but he would not say it right. He didn't say Ubuntu, he said Ubuntu. He's like, you should use Ubuntu. And I was like, I'm gonna look that up. And then I looked it up and I found nothing. I was like, that's not it. That's not a real thing. He meant Ubuntu. He didn't even know. He wasn't even enough of a nerd to know it was Ubuntu. Whenever streaming, make as much references as possible, right? Exactly. Refer to things and people understand. This couldn't have happened if he said Arch or Mint. Linux Mint did not exist at the time. It was not, well, maybe, I don't know. How long did Linux Mint exist? It definitely was not known at all. This was like 2000 and probably like 2009, I think. He's trying to set you up to get bullied. He would never do that. You think a teacher would intentionally set a child up to be bullied? No way. Look, we got the gamer headset. There it is. Gaming. Linux is old, yeah, but like, I don't think Linux Mint was that old. It definitely could have happened because Arch, because back then Arch was still in active development. Well, yeah, I feel like Arch was a thing. Linux Mint began in 2006. Well, I don't think it was well known enough. Where you go? Skystead Ranch, our biggest and best game. I don't think this is your best game, okay? Wooloop is your best game. Get it? Don't get it twisted. It's a very small indie team. You need all the help you can get to push the game. You haven't already, please wish list. Okay, let me see what this game is. Oh wait, this is what they were referencing. Remember we were playing the thing before and we got this thing and I was like, what is that? Celeste? It's actually their own game. What is this game? Show me this game. See, this is so different from wooloop though that I'm not sure this is my cup of tea. I don't know that I would enjoy this. This is just way too different. This is not my kind of game. It's mixed. I can't believe this. The reviews are even mixed. I can't believe this. No, no. So many negatives. Well, I don't know. I wasn't planning on playing this anyway. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you for watching. I'm going to find out what day it is and I will send you somewhere else. But where? That's the question. Where? Alright, it is Beer Can Appreciation Day. Beer Can. Isn't that the thing where if you say it in a Jamaican accent, it sounds like a British accent? Beer can. Beer. Give me that beer can, man. Beer. What am I saying? National Peanut Butter Day. Talk like a grizzled prospector. Yo, that's the guy from Inscription. Inscription reference? Big Garden Birdwatch. Lobster Thermidor Day. Activity Professionals? What does that mean? Activity? Activity? Like anything could be an activity. Mobile Phone Recycling Day. Change a Pet's Life Day. Just Do It Day. Peanut Butter. Let's do National Peanut Butter Day raid. Wooloop has made you go loopy. No. National Peanut Butter Day raid. You can post some relevant emotes. You could post the eating emote with some peanut butter, maybe like a peanut butter jelly sandwich, perhaps. I don't know. Okay, who's streaming? Who do I raid? Yo, Doobie is streaming. I'm not gonna raid Doobie. Okay, who else is streaming? Who else is out there on Twitch.tv? What about this? How about this individual? This fellow right here. Mr. Nabunan. / raid. Nabunan. Nabunan is playing Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. You can watch him as he plays this game. And you'll be like, wow, that is in fact Donkey Kong returning in HD. Also, welcome Matthews. Anyway, that's it. I will be back tomorrow with some variety gaming.